Hi, so my name's Soraya, um, and I've got Stargardt's disease. I wanted to make this video because when I was diagnosed with Stargardt's, and like even now, when I'm looking for resources and for people who have been through the same thing, I haven't really been able to find much, and it is sort of hard to not really have anyone to talk about it with and not have anyone who's going through exactly the same thing. And I thought that maybe talking about my experiences with it would help out anyone else who's maybe looking for resources on it too, or even just struggling with vision impairment or being diagnosed, anything like that. So and it's also to educate like my friends and stuff. I'll probably link this to my Facebook just so people can be aware. So my condition is called Stargardt's disease, and it's an inherited form of macular degeneration. Your macula is like a part of your eye that has photoreceptors and basically like lets light in, sort of thing. I'm not too clear, but um, I've got like a little list next to me or on my computer screen about some of the things I wanted to talk about. Okay, so Stargardt's disease basically only affects my central vision. My peripheral vision is generally like undisturbed by it. Occasionally it will sort of be a bit blurry or something, depending on how bright the light is and whatnot. But most of the time, like it's really like it doesn't affect it. So I can still see outside my peripheral vision. What's missing is this huge circle in the middle of my central vision, and it makes it really hard to focus on things, especially things like reading and stuff. But I'll get into that soon. I first started noticing that like I had something wrong with my eyes about last year, 2012. Maybe about October. I sort of started noticing that I couldn't really focus on things properly. I couldn't really see people's faces as clearly anymore. And I started not noticing things. I was a bit more clumsy. Oh, I was already pretty clumsy, but even worse than usual. And some of the symptoms of Stargardt's disease are blurred vision, deterioration of central vision, a central blind spot, diminishing ability to perceive colours, and difficulty adapting from bright sunlight to a dimmed room. Yeah, I started experiencing basically all of those, and I wasn't really sure what was going on. I mean, it sort of happened out of the blue, and before then, I'd always had 20/20 vision, or 6/6 vision if you're Australian. You'll know that. um, so it was really like strange to have something happen to me that I just really wasn't expecting it. Like I'd never had any issues with my eyes before, and I thought when it started, like when I did start having problems with my eyes, I thought that maybe it was like I knew it was serious, but I thought maybe there's probably just something in my eye. I probably just like need glasses or whatnot. I mean, I wish I needed glasses because that would be a lot better than what I have. But no, I went to the optometrist and they saw the damage on my macula after doing a few tests. And they're like, we're going to have to refer you on, but it's unlikely that there's anything that anyone can do, which was pretty terrible to hear. Like, it wasn't exactly my funnest day ever. But they didn't really know what it was for a really long time. I did have a fair few appointments at the eye and ear hospital, and they still didn't figure it out for a fair while. And part of it was, yeah, it took them a while because, yeah, there's not that many cases of it. So they're not always looking exactly for it. And there is no cure for it. Stargardt does not have a treatment. You can't have laser eye surgery. You can't get glasses. You can't. Yeah, there's nothing. And people always ask me when I tell them that I have Stargardt. They're like, so are you getting glasses? Why aren't you wearing glasses? I'm just like, glasses don't help. If they helped, I would be wearing them. But no, they don't help at all. So not much point in wearing them. So I thought, I'll start off with school. I'm pretty lucky that I have a really supportive school and I have really supportive teachers. But I'm going into year 12 next year, so that will probably still be a challenge, but it's one that I think I can overcome. But yeah, my teachers are really great. I do pretty much everything at school on my laptop now, including exams and everything, I've got special provision to do exams on my laptop and to type them up because I can't read my own handwriting anymore. It's really bad. And I doubt other people could read it either because it's just gotten so much more messy since like I can't really see where I'm writing and I write over it again and I can't see where the lines are and it's not good. I also so I do everything on my computer at school. I type up all during classes. I take notes on my computer and stuff. And I can't find it hard to read my textbooks. I've got a device now, which I suppose I may as well show you now. I was going to it's a magnifier. That's what it looks like. I got this for free. I have a visiting teacher who helps me with like my vision and stuff, and she comes about once a month-ish. Like, I don't need her that often because I'm pretty independent in my learning and stuff. But so this is a magnifier that I got for free from the Student Vision Resource Centre. This is in Victoria, Australia. But yeah, they can give you support and they can give you things that can help make your life a lot easier. Before I got this thing, it was really hard to do things at school. Things are so much easier now. Teachers used to have to scan all the worksheets for me and put them on my computer. But now, with this, I don't need them to. So this is sort of like, it'll be hard for me to show you what it does. I'll point the camera downwards. But yeah, basically, like, that's the magnifier. It's fairly big, it's 5 inches. But this is probably a really good size for reading textbooks and stuff. And not just that, like, I use it out of school as well. Alright, so I'll chuck it down on a page just to demonstrate it. This thing is pretty awesome. If I could get it to show. Right, so I don't know what you guys can see of that. So that's what it does, and you can change the colour of it. Because some people find it easy to read high contrast. I find this setting in particular really helpful. But yeah, you can scroll through it, and some people find blue very useful. I know one of my friends prefers blue paper and stuff. But yeah, and then you can zoom in a lot. I generally need to zoom into maybe about that much if I don't want to get eye strain. Any smaller, and then like after a while my eye still gets sore reading. Any bigger, and it's a pain to have to move it along so often. But yeah, it's a really fantastic device, and it's made my life a lot easier. I'll turn it off and put the camera back up. So my textbooks are harder to read at school now, and that does take me longer even with this. But for some of them I have online versions, so I try to use those most of the time, and it's not like impossible to overcome. So, and most textbooks nowadays do have online versions, or they come with a disc that has it on it, so use that because it's so much easier, and then you can search for things, and it's really more of an advantage than a paper version, I would say. And same with novels and stuff. I got an iPad as well from the Vision Resource Centre, and I read all my novels for school on that, and it's so much easier to add notes and stuff in iBooks. Even you just like click it and you can annotate it, and then you can search for things, you can search for phrases and stuff. And personally, like, I find it easier than an actual book, like even before I was vision impaired. It just is. But so yeah, school isn't a massive issue for me, and most schools should be pretty accommodating, I think, and especially if you do have help from an outside source, like the Statewide Vision Resource Centre, it's not too bad at all. Like, and I am really lucky in that I have supportive teachers and stuff, so, but I'm sure other people's experience might be different, like, maybe not everyone's teachers might be supportive. I know some of mine were like forgetful at first, and you do have to really constantly remind them, which I didn't do for a while. Like, I got nervous about reminding them. I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable telling them that I can't read this or I can't do this, and so I didn't, and I'm the only one who suffered for it. They didn't suffer. I suffered because I wasn't learning. So really, it's just something you have to overcome, because you just have to learn to speak up for yourself. It's not gonna work. Like, you just won't learn otherwise. You really won't. But yeah, and obviously things might change once I get to university. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do there, but most unis have like disability units, like and for support and whatnot. So I'm hoping that I'll figure that out once I get there in a couple of years. But yeah, um, so I still have my peripheral vision. That's not generally affected by my disease, but the complete central vision of mine is. If anyone's interested, I have an app on my phone that basically shows you what my vision is like. It's called Eye Simulator. It is in just lowercase I and then capital S and then simulator, all one word, and that's really good for demonstrating it, especially if you have friends or family who have like they won't understand until you show them something like this. So I think that's really useful. But there are a lot of things I can't see. I can't see things as well as my friends, and a lot of people forget it a lot of the time. They forget that you can't see things, and they forget what you can't do and what your limitations are. And again, the same as with the teachers, the key is to just remind them and tell them, oh, yeah, I actually can't see that. But so yeah, so if you go to the eye doctor or if you have a driving test or whatever, and actually I did go for my driving test, I got my L's even though I can't actually use them anymore. But and you read the eye chart, and I'll be like, okay, so what does this row say? And this is for the top row, like the biggest letter row, and I'll be like, E, yep, P, no, you're blind. That's pretty much what it's like for me. I'm just like, I can't see that at all, actually. Well, I can see the top row, but that's it. And even that I struggle with. Like, my vision at the moment, it's been a while since my last checkup, but it was at, I think it was 6 4. No, I'm not sure, but it's not too far off from legally blind. It's fairly severely vision impaired, but yeah, so it's not too far off legally blind. But I can read like the top row or so with some trouble, but yeah. But once you can't read the top row, then you're legally blind. Once you can only read the top row, then you're declared legally blind. And anyway, yeah, next thing, I can't drive. I'm not allowed to get my P's, and it really sucks. It sucks so bad to see all your friends getting their P's and getting excited about that. It's a pretty independent thing to have your P's, like, or to be able to drive. It really helps you to be independent, and I don't have that, which can really suck, and I get jealous over people for it. It's, yeah. But, if you live in the city, it's much easier. Like, I remember I lived in the city, like, when I was younger, and public transport just, like, that makes you independent anyway, but where I live now is in the country, and there's no public transport, and that sucks, because I've just got no way of getting around aside from getting, like, people to chauffeur me or whatnot, which I don't like doing. I don't like relying on people for lifts, because obviously I can't pay them back for those lifts or return the favor. What can I can't see road signs, like, when I mean, I don't drive anyway, obviously, but like, whenever I'm navigating for someone, I'm so glad for the GPSs. They are a lifesaver, because I won't know what road we're on, what road we're near. Even like when I'm just walking around, if there's a road sign, like, or a street sign, I'm just like, I've got to walk right up to it and stand like right underneath it to be able to read what it says. And even then, it can be annoying sometimes. But I can see speed signs, but only like exactly as I'm passing them, no earlier, because they're just too far away and I can't make out exactly what it is. So my friends will often like point out like billboards off signs or something, it's a funny sign or whatnot. And I'm pretty guilty of pretending that I can see it, and I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. They're like, oh, did you see that? And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then later that might ask, what did that say? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I lied. I don't know. So I do pretend I can see things sometimes, and sometimes I do it just plainly to fit in. I can't be bothered like pretending, like telling them that I can't see it, and I don't know. It just gets annoying sometimes, like having to say things like that. So I just try to avoid it sometimes. Not all the time. It's just like it's annoying to explain to people why you can't see things all the time, so sometimes I try and avoid it. I have terrible night vision. My night vision is so bad. I can't really see much at all at night. Even if there's bright lights around, I can see those, but even if it's just like dimmer light, I can't see anything. Like, I just don't have enough contrast in my vision anymore, and it's really annoying. I actually have a cane for nighttime, like for walking around and stuff, because it's just that bad. Like, I will just bump into everything. Well, I haven't actually used my cane that much since I got it because I don't live in the city anymore, and it so it folds up and stuff. But and it unscrews if I can get it. There we go. It's just a bit stiff because I haven't used it in a while, but there we go. It folds up nice and neatly. And I do always carry it around in my handbag. It's not very heavy at all. Like, it wouldn't even weigh a kilo. I do always carry it around in case I'm stuck somewhere at night and I need to be able to get around. But I haven't used it that much, mostly because I'm always out with friends at night, and I just generally cling on to them instead and use them to like help me walk around. I can't read menus at restaurants and stuff, especially the ones that are like up behind the counter, you know, like a McDonald's or something. Those are the bane of my life. I hate them. I can't see those. I don't know what food you have on your menu. I don't know what to order. And it's really annoying. Especially if they don't have like a written one as well, and it's just like one of those coffee shops that just has it all behind it. It drives me insane. I can't read other menus anyway most of the time, but, well, I can now with this. Carry this around with me too. This and this are things that I do not go without, because they're just so helpful. And if you can get aids, get them. They're just so good. I got my cane for free as well when I did training with Guide Dogs Australia. No, I'm not getting a guide dog. It's they do orientation and mobility training for vision impaired people and blind people, as well as, you know, the whole guide dog thing. Lots of my friends want me to get a guide dog, but, you know, obviously I would rather avoid going that blind that I need one. But they all think that it would be very cute, and I agree, but I really don't want to need one. So another thing is, I can't see people's faces that clearly. If you're standing more than a meter or two, like, away from me, I can't see your face. I can't see the expression on your face. It's really hard for me to tell, like, what sort of, well, like, people's emotions, because they show emotions on their face. It's hard for me to tell, like, what you're feeling, or if you're crying or something, I won't know. Like, I just can't see properly, like, their faces, people's faces, and that's really annoying. And, like, I don't recognize people in public. Even if I know you, I'm not going to see you, I'm not going to recognize you. It's not because I'm purposely avoiding you or anything, it's because I can't tell that it's you. Some people I can tell from, like, their, I don't know, how they walk, how they dress and stuff, and I can guess that it's probably them, especially if they like hairstyle or whatnot, but yeah, even that's like pretty off sometimes, and I've been guilty of going up to people thinking they were my friends and being like, oh, hey, you know, so-and-so, and they're like, yeah, that's not me, and I'm like, oh, sorry, awkward. Yeah, so that can get annoying. If you're near me, just come up and tell me, like, because I'll know you. Once you're near me, I'll know you, but yeah, if you're too far away, I'm not going to know that you're even there, really. And that's another thing. People can really scare me easily because I can't tell that they're coming. And my friends have utilized that pretty often to scare the shit out of me. But another thing with vision impairment, or at least with my kind, is that bright light really hurts your eyes. And with my condition, it can actually make it worse. Like, sunlight can degrade your vision even, you know, more severely. So sunglasses are a really good idea, even though I'm not that great in wearing mine, because I don't have a great pair. But and bright light, like, leads to headaches. I get headaches basically every day. Sometimes they develop into worse migraines and stuff, to the point that, like, I just have to shut myself away in a dark room like a vampire. But yeah, I'm always tired as well. You get tired when your eyes are straining so much. It's not like a physical tiredness, it's just a mental tiredness, like a burnout after you've had like an exam or something. It's just you're so tired and you can't really like, you just feel like collapsing because your head hurts and your eyes are droopy. And I also get really teary eyes if I'm focusing on something or if I'm trying to read. My eyes will often tear up and people will be like, "Ah, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Ah, nothing. Just I have messed up eyes." Sleepy eyes and stuff. At school, like when I'm trying to read the whiteboard, the letters like they submerge on the board, and that's like I can't really see what teachers write on whiteboards and whatnot in class. It doesn't really work for me, so I just sort of either take a picture once they've written it on my iPad or phone or whatnot, or I just sort of type up my own notes from what they're saying. Um, yeah, but that's about all the school life that I can think of. Yeah, the main thing is like a lot of people just often forget that I am vision impaired, and that this is a thing with Stargardt's like because it's not always immediately visible, and because a lot of people with Stargardt's like you still have your peripheral vision, so you can blend in pretty well, like with most everyday things. I mean, obviously, unless I'm carrying this, people, this is the only thing that makes it obvious that I'm vision impaired. Otherwise, people just think I'm a really clumsy person bumping into like doors and stuff. Um, and that I only use that at night because during the day I can generally see well enough, unless it's a really bright day, in which case, yeah, I'll use this. Um, but yeah, the main thing is that people do forget, and that can be really hard and annoying because you don't want to explain to people constantly, and it's also not fun to like constantly tell people that like you can't do something because you're vision impaired. I can do everything mostly. Like I've never met a hurdle that I couldn't somehow get over. Um, but yeah, it's just you've got to be patient with people, I found, and also let them know if you are finding something really difficult. There's no point in just keeping it to yourself. Like I tried to do that, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll just not say anything. That's easier. It's not. You're only cheating yourself, and you're only letting yourself be left out of whatever it is they're doing or whatever it is they're telling you or whatnot. So don't do that. Just speak up. It's so much better. Um, yeah, that's basically all that I can think of with Stargarts and how it affects me. I do get pretty depressed sometimes, like about the things that I'm prevented from doing. Like I really wanted to be a police officer. Like that was pretty much my goal for the last 5 years or so. That's all I've wanted to be. And then as soon as I got Stargarts, I was like, yeah, I can't actually do that anymore because they have eyesight requirements and things like that, and it's hard to deal with those things for a while. Like I'm still trying to figure out a way to cope with things that I'm missing out on, like driving and other jobs that require you to have good vision, and how even just like on forms now I have to classify myself as disabled, and that just feels so wrong. Like I'm not saying that being disabled is wrong. I'm just like, it's so strange to have to say things like that when less than like basically a year ago, like I was fine and I didn't have to write down any of that stuff at all. But I mean, so I'm still coming to terms with it, and I do still struggle with it sometimes, or a lot of the time maybe. I'm definitely getting better with it, and it's not as bad as when I originally found out. I suppose because like I've made adjustments to my life, like my everyday life, to compensate and to make the Stargarts affect me less. But not everyone can make all those, especially like depending on what your life is and life is like and whatnot. But yeah, if anyone has any questions or if anyone wants to message me or anything, feel free, because like I would love to meet other people who are vision impaired, especially other teenagers. I'm only 17, so, and I haven't found many other teenagers. Like I've tried searching, but I can't really find any. I'm sure there are like tons of vision impaired teens from other diseases and whatnot. I really specifically want to find someone with Stargardt's. Like I'm interested in other people as well, no matter what vision impairment you have. Like it'd be cool to talk because I don't really have anyone. immediately around me who knows much about it, and it's sort of hard to explain to people. And by the way, if you're watching this and you don't have any form of vision impairment, and you know that a friend is vision impaired, or someone tells you that they're vision impaired, do not say, hold up your hand and go, oh, how many fingers am I holding up? Because it's pretty likely that if another person does that to me, I might punch them in the face, because it drives me insane. That's just a huge pet peeve of mine. And also, don't ask people about what their surgery options or what their treatment options are, because for me, I know I always get a wave of, it's just I get depressed when I have to tell people, there's actually no cure for it. And it's annoying that people sort of pry like that, or I find it annoying because I don't really think that it's their business what the treatment options are. It's my business, and if there were treatment options, obviously I would be taking them up and utilizing them, but there's not, and there's not much I can do about my disease, so it's, yeah. So unless they bring it up, unless the person with the vision impairment or whatnot brings it up, I would not bring it up with them if, it's not a wise idea. But, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, feel free to message me and whatnot. And yeah, I know it can be a really rough thing to be diagnosed, but if anyone has any questions, from my Facebook, feel free to ask, because I would prefer people ask than not ask and not know how to treat me, or not know what things I can do and can't do and whatnot. Okie dokie. So thanks for listening or watching. Ciao.